So much pain and anguish in this community and beyond. Earlier this evening, I had the chance to catch up with the Buffalo Mayor, Byron Brown. He is the first black mayor to lead this city, and like so many others in this community, trying to comprehend the incomprehensible. Thank you so much for joining us. And first off, our condolences to you and the entire community. As you were watching that story along with me, you were pointing out all the people who you knew, who passed, those who are still alive as vibrant parts of the community. Just describe for me what it's been like for you the last few days.
It's been hard. It's shocking. It's painful. And I've worked hard to hold this community together. Close-knit people in the community. It's a loving community. Nationally, internationally known as a city of good neighbors, a very welcoming community.
You were the first black mayor of this city. That was hailed as significant achievement and progress. So how do you then reconcile that with where we are today?
It's hard to reconcile this. This is absolutely unimaginable. We've seen these mass shootings play themselves out time and time again in this country, never thinking that something like this could or would ever happen here. It really shakes your sense of security.
We've been talking about the idea of gun violence plaguing cities. You've talked about Buffalo is no different. What do you feel needs to be done, in particular, in your community?
I think what has to be done is national. There has to be sensible, sound gun control. The availability of guns is just far too great in this country. Guns too often fall in the wrong hands, legally and illegally. Something has to be done about that at the federal level. There finally has to be the resolve to change that.
And it's our understanding that last June, the shooter had undergone a mental health evaluation after expressing some desire to commit a murder-suicide. Under New York's red flag law, it sounds like presumably he should not have been allowed to purchase the rifle that he did. And just for our viewers, I want to read what that law is. The New York red flag law, which passed in 2019, allows police, relatives, or school officials to seek a court petition that calls for the seizure of firearms from people the court deems to be a threat to themselves or others. So this law was not applied in this case. Obviously, it's still very early on, but what can we do to make sure that these measures that are in place to prevent these kinds of incidents from happening actually are followed?
I think the investigation will help with that. This is being investigated at the federal level, state level, local levels to find out how this happened, why this happened, what might have gone wrong with the application of laws, where breakdowns might be in the criminal justice system. I had the opportunity yesterday to speak to the National Director of the FBI, Director Wray, and he committed the full resources of the FBI to look at every detail of this and to work with local law enforcement to try to prevent an incident like this from happening again.
And we talked in the story just then about how significant it was for this TOPS to come to the community. We talked to people earlier who were saying that they were so concerned that their loved ones don't have cars to be able to travel. What would you say needs to happen right now in the coming days while TOPS is still not open? A
lot of companies, individuals in the community stepping up to help to make a difference. The TOPS Corporation itself spoke to the president and CEO, John Persons. They have committed to transporting customers to other stores in the network. They will bring a refrigerated vehicle out to provide meats and foods to people in the neighborhood. There are now up to close to $1 million in donations that have come in to help the families affected, to help the surrounding community. So I believe there will be the support for people in this community that rely on TOPS Supermarket to be able to get their groceries, but also to be able to fill their prescriptions because there's a pharmacy in the store as well.
Obviously, President Biden is coming here to Buffalo tomorrow. What would be your personal appeal to the president?
I'm going to appeal to the president to push harder on gun control. I'm going to talk to the president about hate speech on the internet and by personalities. There is too much hate speech, indoctrination of people in hate through social media. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about more resources for urban communities to focus on economic development, job creation, and job training for people living in the inner cities throughout this country.
And lastly, Mayor, if you would just kind of share some of the sentiments about those who you knew, who passed away. You were giving kind of some commentary on the individuals. What you'll remember about some of those lives that were lost on Saturday?
Yes, Fire Commissioner Garnell Whitfield met his mom several times, heard him talk with reverence about his mom over the years. Just a tremendous person. Her husband has been in ill health for 8 years, spent every single day, 7 days a week for 8 years caring for her husband, the principal caregiver for her husband. She will be a tremendous loss to her family and to the community. Aaron Salter, a retired member of the Buffalo Police Department, working here as a security officer, engaged the shooter. The shooter was wearing body armor, actually struck the shooter with gunfire, but because of the body armor, it had no effect, and he was killed protecting others. If not for his heroics, more people inside the store would probably have gotten killed. Kat Massey, a member of the NAACP, a block club member, an active member of the community. Any community meeting talking about ways to improve the community, she was there, constant presence in the community. A father coming to pick up cupcakes for a birthday celebration for his son. All wonderful lives, wonderful people, and lives taken from us too soon, unnecessarily, by someone with a heart full of hate and a head full of hate.
Mayor, we thank you so much for your time. And again, our condolences to the community. So appreciate your time.
Thank you, Linsey.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.